Now it's time to weave in ends. I have not myself yet sewn up my sleeves, but I will do that soon. But all these threads are driving me crazy, so I'm going to get rid of some of them right now, just to get out of my hair. So there is no right or wrong way of doing this. It's basically just weaving in the ends onto the wrong side of your garment. A fun thing to do is to, if you've got a seam that you can tuck it in along, that's a good place to put it, which these two I will. I'm just going to just stitch it into the seam. If you have one that, let's see if I have one that might make sense here. That's along the seam. Well, this one might work. Your garment on the wrong side of stockinette stitch is made up of a series of umbrellas and smiles, as we call it. If it makes any sense. If you look at the back side, the purl side of your work, right, there's umbrellas and smiles. And what I often will do is I'll take the strand, like let's take this one as an example, and I'll just weave it into the umbrellas and smiles as trying to follow the thread that exists, like the pattern that exists already. So for example, I am just going to, with this particular one, I'm gonna knock it down a couple of rows here for you to see. Okay, so it's gone into an umbrella, and here's a smile, and I'm going to follow the thread from that smile, or this is a smile going into an umbrella, and I'm just following where the thread would go in normal knitting. It would actually pop up right here, and I follow that, and then I go over the umbrella. I'm just following the thread where it normally goes in the natural pattern, like that. And then this one comes up like this, like this. It's a way of top stitching if you're ever defining a sweater and doing some top stitching with an alternate color. It's kind of how you do it from the top. And if you just pull it to the tautness of your knitting, you won't even notice that it's there, and that is woven in, and you don't even notice it at all. So that is one technique, and then I just snip it close to it and it's done. And the only other is if you have a thread that's happens to be along the edge. Here's one. Okay, this one, I don't want this to show, because this is your button band border. And let me zoom this out. Whoops. Okay, so this one I want hidden very well. Okay, so is there logic? Well, yes and no. I just look at where threads go normally and naturally, and what is going to make sense here is for this one to hook in back here. That's disappeared out of view there. And now I am going to take that one and I am going to stitch it. Oh, I'm going to follow the bumps here. There we go. What is she doing? You just invent things. It's just a matter of finding places that are logical for your needle to go to hide that thread. See, and you won't notice it. Here's another one. This one happens to be along the shoulder seam. Ooh, with a nice long edge. So, what am I going to do here? I think this one I'm going to stitch up